Am I the a-hole for installing a keylogger in my son's computer? I'm a single dad, 43 years old, computer programmer. My son, let's call him Jack, is 17 years old. Jack's mom died when he was 10, but thankfully we both handled our grief together quite well. When Jack got his first laptop 5 years ago, I took my time explaining how the internet worked, the dangers, etc. I allowed him to create a social media account, as long as he allowed me to check on it whenever I wanted, which was a privilege I made use of a few times until he turned 15 and I realized I could trust him, having never asked for it since then. He allowed me to know where he stored his account passwords just in case, but I never really looked for them. So his social media and computer activity have been a complete mystery to me in the last couple of years. However, I was always fearful he would try to hide something or get into something dangerous, so I installed a keylogger just in case, always thinking about his safety. I never had to use it, and the more I watched him grow up, I realized I would never really use it, but I never bothered to remove it. My sister and I were talking about this in a casual conversation regarding privacy and privacy apps, and my niece overheard us. They were born the same year. She got offended I would do such a thing, claiming it was a horrible invasion of Jack's privacy and that I should be ashamed. And the only reason she hasn't told my son was because my sister told her she'd ground her for meddling in my parenting. So, am I the a-hole for having installed a keylogger even though I never had to use it? Update. It took me 2 days of pondering, especially with the threat of my niece telling Jack everything, before I sat him down and talked to him. I came out clean, told him about the keylogger, then explained to him what it did, why I did it, and how it worked. Jack believed me when I told him I had never looked at anything. We both shared a laugh when he told me he believed me because A, I am a complete airhead, so it is perfectly believable I forgot about the keylogger for years, and B, he admitted to having watched porn, and he is sure I would have commented on it because both my sister and I both openly dislike the porn industry. He told me he isn't mad at me, that he's glad I told him about it now instead of, say, 20 years from now, and that he would have done the same thing in my situation, keylogger and everything. I showed him how to remove it and how to look for it in further devices, and we had a look at a few laptops together. I ended up buying him a new one and helped him set it up. Yes, no keyloggers. He let me know the password he used, in case it was necessary. Regarding my niece, she didn't tell him anything, but my sister and I had a conversation with them at the same time over dinner. My niece used the same argument as many of you did, with it being the same as reading a diary, and it was one that both my sister and I agreed with. My sister was admittedly much stricter with her daughter than I was with my son, since she checked her texts and Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp messages. But she admitted it was because of her massive fear that everything that is uploaded to the internet lasts forever, and she was afraid of things like nudes being leaked, undesired contact with bad people, cyberbullying, or any possible hurtful things. They ended up agreeing to disagreeing, and my sister promised to start trusting my niece more with these things, since she knows she won't be able to do anything about it once she turns 18.